All right, so Shalom, all praise and honor and glory going to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you Akim that's out there pushing this truth with all honesty and sincerity by way of going out on the highways and byways, all right, teaching and preaching. And also, you sisters that's out there listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. Going back to the names, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father name, which means He is or He exists. Bahashem means coming in the name, and what the world ignorantly calls JC or Jesus Christ, which his name is not Jesus Christ. All right, it's not Yeshua, it's not Jesus Christos, it's not Yehoshua, it's not Yeshaya, Ashaya, it's not none of that. All right, it's not Hashem. All right, it's not none of that. It is Yahweh Shai. All right, so which means he saves or he delivers. Slakia. That means he saves or he delivers. All right, so he is the savior or he is the deliverer. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. This your brother Nayap, and I'm back with another lesson. I remember, Slakia, give me 2 seconds. I remember talking about patience, all right, the other day. And basically, we all got to have patience, waiting on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. That's just what we have to do, all right? We always had to have patience waiting on things that we wanted anyway in life. And a lot of times we never even got it if if you on this side of the fence anyway. So yeah, if you ever, if you on, Jake usually, he either middle class or in the poor. Let's be honest. Majority of us. All right, majority of us is in the poor one, or a little bit probably like, and then like you got some brothers that's doing a little bit better and stuff like that. But ultimately, we fucking poor. We ain't got shit compared to these Edomites. All right, but anyway, so this lesson is gonna be based off patience, man. All right, it's just let patience have its perfect work on you, man. All right, let it have its time. Let it go ahead and do what it need to do, because a lot of times I know brothers come, everybody, brothers come in the truth. And, we all got that fire, you know what I'm saying? But we, everything got to be done on the Lord's timing, We can't be forcing the Lord, trying to force the Lord's hand. That's what Judas did. We can't be trying to force the Lord's hand or anything like that. All right. And we see the times that we in, man, because it's real bad out here, All right. It's very bad, actually. And I haven't even, I looked at a couple articles or whatever. I just been hearing the news, I heard another mass shooting in Mississippi and stuff like that. But, so I think it was like 12 or something like that hit, or I don't know. I have to go back to it, but I uploaded a couple videos, and then you got with social media now with TikTok, they talking about Nero's son. All right, Nero's son, Baron Nero. All right, Baron Caesar or whatever. He's running TikTok or something like that, or he's the chairman of TikTok, or so. And then that's ran by the blue and white. So it's a lot of things, man, that's going on. It's a lot of things that's going on, and it's basically already civil war. We in a recession. Inflation is through the roof. I'm just laying out the basics right now. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead, man, with this lesson. Let's get into this lesson. All right, this is James chapter 1 verse 1. It says, James, a servant of the Most High, and of the Lord Yahushua Mashiach to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. It says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. All right, because we we gonna be tempted in this thing of ours, hella. All right, we always gonna get tempted in this thing. Okay, rather if it's even, how these women be out here too, and oh man, these women, hey man, they been looking bad, brothers. And sisters. You know what I'm saying? Sisters, if you ever been looking at the dudes been looking bad, man. Jake been looking real, real bad. Jake been trying to hang on, but a lot of Jakes, what they trying to, I guess like the younger side of Jakes, it's hard for them really to get anything, so they really don't see really no future or anything like that. So it's like, which I can understand, but like they not even trying to do like a little trade school, just like even if it's like 6 months, just something just like 6 months, no more than like 2 years, which would be your best bet instead of just trying to, go all the way full blam, into things. Unless you good like with making, doing something else, what I'm saying, career wise. But like, you got people that paint. You ain't gotta actually like be a contractor to be, you know, to actually be painting and stuff like that. Like, I don't think you have to be. You can just actually just go over people's houses and paint. I used to go over people's houses and paint like all the time. So you can get your money like that. So like me, for instance, like I had ended up doing heating, ventilation, and cooling. All right, that's underneath my belt. That's something that that's like almost like plumbing. Like you kind of can't really see that being replaced all the way yet by AI. So like the job is still out there. You know what I'm saying? The demand is still out there. So, but yeah, what's going on with a lot of younger people, man? They, ain't no money. They gotta be, with their peoples and stuff like that. But a lot of Jakes, a lot of younger dudes, they end up chilling with other Jakes, getting into a whole bunch of bullshit and stuff like that. And these women, for the younger women, they end up, getting pregnant young, end up having babies in these badass times, man. And these the worst times when to be having kids. It says now that chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. All right. Hey, yeah. So you just got to go through it. When you go through all kinds of things, when the Lord throw, monkey wrenches at you or something, when you get like an illness or something like that, hey, you got to go through it. You go through some things. It might be somebody fucking with you for that day. You be like, damn, Satan really on that motherfucker to be fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? It just, so like you go through little things like that. Sometimes, even like major things, your car might end up getting fucked up, or it might get worse than that. You end up losing your fucking car. You know what I'm saying? You might end up losing your car, but then you end up getting, blessed with a job or something like that. So it's all kinds of things that like we all going through. But at the end of the day, it's to make you a better person. All right, it's to make you a better person at the end of the day. All right, a righteous soul, if you will. As a matter of fact, I want to read this in the NLT. It says, "No discipline is enjoyable while it is happening. It's painful." All right, just like when when you gotta whoop your child's ass or something like that. That's if you got kids. All right, it says, but afterward, or if you just gotta put them on punishment. It said, but afterward, there will be peaceable harvest of right living for those who are trained in this way. Yeah, because if you're not about to be uh if you're not about to be staying on the railroad tracks, all right, the all right, like when you got railroad tracks, you supposed to follow the certain one. This is your mission. You supposed to go from this railroad track to this. You supposed to go from this destination to this destination. You supposed to stay on this railroad track. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get a example. I've been seeing people build railroad tracks too, Edomites. All right, see, like you got a split or you got these. All right, you got to know where you going. All right, you supposed to stay on your one railroad track. This is us. We supposed to stay on the one. All right, the one that's going forward. All right, not the one that's curving to the left into another one. No, we supposed to stay on one track. All right, that's the best analogy I can give you. All right, but if you don't stay on track, then you end up going somewhere else, and then you end up getting lost. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way in this thing. If you end up following some different philosophies, or some different idols, following this man Jesus Christ, who the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Who is this Edomite that's gonna come down and save you? Like, he doesn't exist. That's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for that, man, you'll be looking for eternity. You know what I'm saying? Man, I don't even know why people even think that could be somebody that can come back and save you when he's the one that been doing all this destruction to your ass. It says no discipline, Hebrews 12 and 11 in NLT, no discipline is enjoyable while it's happening, it's painful, but afterward there will be a peaceful harvest for right living for those who are trained in this, are trained in this way. Yeah. All right, so you gotta go through it, man. Gotta go through it. But and then when you go through it as well, you see the benefits of it. You be like, well, damn, you know what? I am glad that I went through this. And then going through these hardships or these hard times, rather if it's something small or if it's something large. All right, rather if it's something, again, rather if it's something small or something large. All right, rather if it's something that you dealing with, you know, like maybe if you're dealing with something like when it comes to health, anything like that, all right? Anything small or something hard, all right? It says, believe. This is 1 Peter 4 and 12. It says, believe, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you, all right? It says, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, all right? So don't even think it's strange when you going through these things. You go through it and you like, all right, I see why I'm going through this. Like, when you, like, when brothers first come into the truth and stuff like that, when you start to read, seep your feet down into it. And then, like, when certain things happen, you be like, oh, I see. Like, instantly, you be like, oh, I see why that happened. I see why. Or, you just be like, damn, that's judgment. A lot of brothers be like, damn, that's judgment. You know what I'm saying? There go judgment. You know what I'm saying? It just be happening. Because so much around you, it just be happening all the time. You be like, damn. So something happened to you, be like, damn, that was judgment. Damn, that was judgment. Because you'll be like, you'll reflect, you'll be like, damn, is it because I did this? It probably was. Damn, I got judged. But it was for the smallest thing. It's people just getting judged out here and getting their heads knocked off. You see what I'm saying? By the Lord. So, it says, believe it not strange. All right? So, man, brothers, when it comes to the bills or women, I know how it is with the women and stuff like that, of course. Bills can be whooping your ass. Being at that job that you at, you keep on, it's just constantly on that fucking hamster wheel, and you like, damn, when this shit gonna be over. I know that feeling, man. This Hebrews 12 and 5, it says, ye have forgotten, or you got pains and shit, you like, man, fuck. Or you always got to go deal with somebody that you don't feel like dealing with on a daily. You know what I'm saying? The Lord be testing your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Or like somebody end up getting mad as fuck at you, yelling at you, but you keep your calm and shit. That's through the spirit, man, because that's the Lord teaching you how to go through serious pressured situations. All right? When you go through situations that's like, hey, like this and that happened, like it might not be, man, in these days, man, it's a lot of shit that's gonna be happening. It's gonna get real bad. So expect the worst. That's all I'm saying. Expect the worst, man. So when some shit go off, you just be like, well, damn, all right, for sure. You know, you just know what to do. Be calm about it. Do you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, Lord willing. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know you get through it, man. Cause we going in some horrible times. I don't know how much brothers can stress it so much. You know, so it's gonna get bad out here, man. All right. It says, and you gotta know how to have a clear mind. All right. It says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children, my son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. All right. Even like when you know when you go through something and you be like, just you just take your ass whooping, from the Lord. That's we all get our ass whooped. It says for whom the Lord loveth, Yahweh Shem Yahushua loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth. It says every son whom he receiveth, if ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, it says whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. All right, so basically, if the Lord not shaping you up and you don't feel like taking some lumps in the spirit while you in this truth, all right. And when I say this truth, this real truth, all right. If you're not getting beat up through the spirit, all right, if you're not getting checked through the spirit, or ain't nobody checking you, or you ain't checking yourself, or catching some lumps or something like that, it's something wrong. You can't be part of the elect if you ain't getting chastised. You supposed to go through it. The Lord even said it. You know what I'm saying? He must not love you if he ain't doing that. We know him. You see what's happening to Esau. The Lord just letting him do what he do right now. But then, the Lord gonna, come on with that hammer. It's gonna be a wrap for his ass real soon. But that's why they trying to control everything. So we are, like we've been said this, man. They already been controlling it. They just going harder now. Just like how we gotta go harder. That's all. Just through the spirit. We just spiritual. You see what I'm saying? This is 1 Peter 4:13. But rejoicing as much as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also, which Salakia, with exceeding joy. It says, if ye be reproached for the same of Hamashiach, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of the Most High resteth upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is glorified. All right, he is always glorified on our part. All right, but they, when you bring up this word, oh, what you mean? That's the name of the Lord, or when you tell somebody that, but then when the so-called white man tell you that, all right, when Esau Edom tell you that, then you be like, then you just take it, because you fucking Salakia, Stockholm syndrome ass niggas, coon, a lot of you jakes, man, y'all like y'all oppressors, so it just be, that's why y'all gotta go with them. The Lord ain't dealing with nobody that's trying to deal with the wicked and be a part of this world anyway. All right. So let's get our next one though. So yeah, man. It's James chapter 1. St. James chapter 1 verse 3. It says, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. All right. You don't want nothing. It says, for you know, in the NLT, James 1:3, for you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. See? And that's what happens, because even like when you even like when the older you get, it's like the more you kind of be like, man, like it used to be, the older that I was getting, the less patience I had, that I was thinking that I had, but I just don't have time for bullshit. I got patience on the Lord though all day, because I have to wait. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you have to wait for something, you just gotta wait, bro. It's like if somebody be like, hey, bro, it's gonna take 20 minutes to download. Well, you gotta wait 20 minutes to fucking download. Okay? You gotta wait that full 20 minutes. All right, you gotta wait until it's 100% done. And that's how we gotta wait until the, how everything going. All right, the prophecies has to come to pass. All right? And that main prophecy, that MOTB, all right, which is that C-hip, all right. It says, verse 4 says, so let it grow, for when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. All right. And again, we moving in some scary times, so you got to make sure your fucking head is clear, man. You know? Let me go to this right quick. But yeah, so, but other than that, man, it been, like I was, going back to the news and stuff like that, man, the news, it's so much shit going on. I know these farmers, they mad. This, Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 4 says, whatsoever brought upon thee take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. That's one of my favorite scriptures. All right, be changed. All right, when you get changed to a lower state, be patient, man. All right, when you going through some stuff, when you going through some illnesses, or when you fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, take it on the chin. Just be like, I'm going to go through it. Because instantly think about it. Just be like, you know what? The Lord put me through this. I got to bear it. That's how I be. You know what I'm saying? Once you just do that, you just accept it. Just accept it, man. Verse 5, it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right, I want to get this in the GNT. All right, what was that? Sirach 2 and 4. Right. Yeah, let me get the 4. All right. This Sirach chapter 2 verse 4. All right, it says, accept whatever happens to you. See? There you go. Accept whatever happens to you. Even if you suffer humiliation, be patient. That's what it's about. It don't matter what you go through, bro. Be patient. All right, we got to be patient anyway, especially if you want to make it to the end. Shit. You know what I'm saying? It says gold is tested by fire, and human character is tested in the furnace of humiliation. There you go. How much you gonna humiliate yourself? And what's one of the ways of humiliating yourself? All right. By going out. All right. Making your body as a living sacrifice. All right. Going out on the highways and byways. And teaching and preaching his word. And going out on it and doing just like what I'm doing now. All right. Put this on the web so it can get across to people. So these people can wake the fuck up to these devils, man, and realize that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are God's chosen people. And he coming back for them only, and only the elect of that. So it's like, Jake, you got to get right. Okay? You got to get right, man. But yeah, it says, yep, the furnace of humiliation. All right? You go out there on the highways and byways, people try to laugh at you, scoring at you, try to throw shit at you. You know what I'm saying? Say shit, call your names, say shit on the comment boards, threaten you. Be like, I know where you live. Or I know this, I know that about you. You know all shit they be saying. You know what I'm saying? You know. And matter of fact, verse 3, it says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. All right, in the GNT, it says, stay with the Lord. Yahweh Shimi Shah, never abandon him. It says, and you will be prosperous at the end of your days. All right. So we always got to stick towards the Lord. All right. No matter what. All right. Your thoughts, everything. You be like, hey, man, like I'm giving my body, my body, my soul's for you. All right. That's how it got to be, man. James 1:4. But it says, but let patience have her perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. All right. And I do want to see what this patience goes into. G581.
Strong's G 5281. Upamane. Upamane.
Steadfast. Endurance. All right. Endure. Then I say you got to endure unto the end. A patient. All right. What's that? Matthew. I forget what it is. Is it 24 and 13? Yeah, Matthew 24 and 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved, man. All right, so you gotta make it to the end. All right, let's go back to this Sirach. Sirach chapter 2, verse 1, it says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright. All right, thy heart, meaning thy mind. All right, and constantly endure. All right, and make not haste in time of trouble. All right, even like, I like to put myself on a constant fast day by day. All right. So then, if anything was to go fucking left and there ain't no damn food out here, because, it's getting bad out here. When shit is scarce and you might have to go, a week or something like that without eating, or a couple weeks without eating, I'm just saying. I'd rather not be the person who's used to going to Burger King every day. I'd rather not be the dude who's used to going to seafood broils and what's that, buffets and shit. I don't want to be the person that's eating fucking Chipotle every other day. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. I don't want to be the person that's drinking pop every day. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 11. It says, I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift. Hold on, Salakia. Yeah, Khan. Ecclesiastes 9:11. It says, I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to the men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all. Okay. Let me grab this in the NLT. It says, I have observed something else under the sun. The fastest runner doesn't always win the race, and the strongest warrior doesn't always win the battle. The wise sometimes go hungry, and the skillful, are not necessarily wealthy. And those who are educated don't always lead successful lives. These people that's out here telling you to go to seminary, schools and stuff like that to learn the Bible, first of all, you're not about to learn the Bible from the devil. That's fucking first of all. All right, you're not about to learn about the Bible from him. All right, and then you're not about to get the understanding unless the Lord give it to you. All right, unless, you know what I'm saying? So, and then you have to be taught, you know what I'm saying, by the you got to be taught by the elders and apostles. All right, a great millstone on down. All right, you got to have the same doctrine. All right, you got to speak that same that same song. You gotta sing that same song, man. If you ain't singing that same song and you got something that's wrong up in your shit, hey man, you gotta go on with that. You know, ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. It gotta be 100%. All right, it gotta be 100%. You can't be saying Edomites can make it. You know, you can't be saying Moabites can make it. You can't be saying all this bullshit. You know, you gotta go with the scriptures, man. Exactly what the scriptures say, precept upon precept, line upon line. Here a little, there a little. All right. But it says the fastest. All right. It says the wise sometimes go hungry, and the skillful are not necessarily wealthy, and those who are educated don't always lead successful lives. It is all decided by chance, by being in the right place at the right time. All right. So, and that's true. All right. And who put you there at the right place at the right time? Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. And then in these days, man, you just gonna be, man, like right now, I hope everything that you may be or be thinking about is the Lord. Spend a lot of time, looking at, looking at the news, prophecies, reading, studying. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do, man. It's Philippians, all right, chapter 2, verse 16. It says, "Hold firmly to the word of life. Then on the day of Hamashiach's return, I will be proud that I did not run the race in vain, and that my work was not useless." All right, yeah, you don't want your work to be useless, man. All right, especially like you got some people who just fall out, you know, just fall out of this thing, become scoffers or whatever, or just fall out of this thing and then just but it's bad because I forget what's that scripture. It's hold on. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, I'm right here too. This Second Peter 2:21. This in the NLT. It says, "It would be better if they had never known the way to righteousness than to know it." All right, so it would have been better for them never to known about this truth and to fall out or go back to whatever the fuck you went back to, than to know it and then reject the command they were given to live a holy life. All right, they proved the truth of this proverb: a dog returns to his vomit. It says, and another says, a washed pig returns to the mud. All right, so there you go, bro. There you go. These scriptures is cold, man. Hey, look, these scriptures cold. That's why I gotta get this. I gotta get this. Just because I said that. It's Hebrews 4:12. It says, "For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and of the joints of marrow, and is a discerner of thoughts and intents of heart." All right, the intents of the mind. All right, it cuts you down. All right, it cuts you down. That's why the people get offended by the scriptures. They be like, "Oh man, what?" Or they don't like to deal with it. You tell them they going off. How you know I'm going off, nigga? Who sent you? Like you got the one dude that's on TikTok. How the fuck is you supposed to tell me what the fuck? Oh my goodness. This Philippians 2:13, for the Most High is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases Him. All right, there you go. All right, He giving. All right, so whatever we doing, all right, He says, for the Most High is working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases Him. What pleases Him? Us going out on the highways and byways, doing these lessons, praying, you know what I'm saying? Doing what we do, man. You know what I'm saying? Brothers chop it up, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. It's Ephesians chapter 4, verses 11. It says, and He gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Mashiach. All right, this is a big family. All right, we all work within unison. All right, one. Okay, that's why it's one doctrine. That's why brothers don't be talking to these other motherfuckers about these other doctrines, or be trying to hook up, link up, like, you know, you got all these groups, they come together, but they got different doctrines. We don't do that. That's confusion. That sound like America. It sound like a whole bunch of niggas in one cell. This shit is confusion. All right, it's not everybody. Man, hell no. It's like no. All right, and then with that, you got with that, you know, with all that confusion, then it come women. All right, then you get women, because some brothers be like, well, you know, I could bring my women out here to camp, you know, and she could sit out here in the sun while we, like, man, why your woman out here, bro? Like, shouldn't your woman be at the house? Like, I can, like, sometimes, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you, like, just leave your woman at home, man. Just tell her that you're going to do something. You know, be like, hey, man, I'm going out. You know, your fucking woman don't need to know where you're going all the time, man. You know, take your nuts out of your woman's purse. A lot of you niggas is soft. I just kind of qualify how it is, bro. A lot of you niggas is soft, man. Get your nuts out of your woman's purse. All right. Now, if you got to go somewhere after camp or something, and she like, woo, okay, I could see if she might stay in the car or something like that, or whatever. But, or, you know, but if, you know, if anything, she can wait, man. She can be at the house. You know? People be having them on the sidewalk with them and shit. And then, you know, then you got the debating part. You know, everybody want to be on TikTok debating. Ain't got no fucking time to be debating the truth. You know what I'm saying? That shit dead. Damn, I didn't click that motherfucker about 20 times. Let me go to this. All right.
Strong's G 5046. Teleos.
All right. That which is perfect, brought to its end, finished. All right. Like what Esau don't know, he don't know how to do with his steak. All right. That motherfucker ain't supposed to be red and bloody. That motherfucker supposed to be well done, brought to its finish, brought to its end. It's a finish. That which is perfect. That's how you know the see, man, Esau, man, you can't get around these scriptures. You know, that's how you know hey, that's another example right there. You can be like, hey, the Lord was perfect, so that had him, man, also, you know, even though the scriptures say that he was a dark-skinned man anyway, wouldn't that mean, you know, even if you think about just little things like that, man, they won't get it, though. Let me go to, let me grab this right quick. This is Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 24. It says, for I will take you from among all, it said, from among the heathen, and gather you out of all countries. It says, and will bring into your own, and Salakia, and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. It says, from all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. All right, so we're gonna get new bodies. All right, and we're gonna have the laws, statute, commandments. All right, we're gonna live and actually just be on it, just like instantaneously. It's gonna be within us. All right, so we just gonna be perfect. All right, it's gonna be beautiful. All right, it's gonna be a beautiful thing. Let me grab this. So yeah, man. This is Deuteronomy 28:1 says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations, all right, of the earth. When you go to this, thee on high, I believe. Let me see. I think it's this. Of rulers, either monarchs or princes. All right. Let me go back. I was just seeing what it said for thee on high. To put, set, to give, bestow, be delivered up. Okay. Be published. Be assigned. Be granted to. Be permitted. All right. So we're going to be set on high. All right. Soon to come. Okay. Soon to come. All right. But hold on. Let me go back. Because verse 15, because these are the blessings, all right, all the way down to 14, then 15, it's the consequences, all right. So Deuteronomy 28:15, it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right, and we already know some of them, but I'll get it. Verse 62, Deuteronomy 28:62, and ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy power, Yahweh thy power. It says, and it shall come to pass that as the Lord Yahweh rejoice over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land whither ye goest to possess it. It says, and the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there shall thou serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. All right, and that's what our people still do to this day, and definitely going with that so-called Jesus character. All right, they really like to worship that guy. All right, this is Baruch chapter 2 verse 34. It says, and I will bring them again into the land which I have promised with an oath unto their fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. All right. So we ain't gonna have to, worry about that. Okay, let me go back though. This is verse 65, Deuteronomy 28 and 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. All right, are people working for fucking pennies and still working, slaving. But the Lord Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart and a failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. That's why I did that lesson the other day, where there's no vision, the people perish. All right. That's why I was, was doing that lesson yesterday. It's just true. Right? It's just true. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 8. It says, henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love his appearing. All right. Now, a lot of people don't even read the description of the Lord, so they don't even know what they're even going to be looking out for. All right. They don't even know what's going on. Let me grab this. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3, verse 8. It says, they judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. All right. We want that. In 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12, it says, if we suffer also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us. All right. So you have to go through, gotta go through this. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 4 says, for though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. All right. It says, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. Okay. And again, gotta go back to it. It's James chapter 1, verse 4 says, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. All right. What's that word for entire?
Strong's G 3648. Halak Leras. Halak Leras.
Entire, whole. All right. Free from sin. Faultless. Okay. Make sure you're doing your shit right, Jake. Make sure you're getting your shit right. So then you can be like, man, these motherfuckers, they getting fucked up out here. Because people gonna be dropping left and right. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna be praying and hoping, even in these times already. Of course, even leaving the house, brothers hit the prayers and stuff. But hey, man, it's getting serious. I don't, these people without them, it's a wrap. All right. 2 Ezra chapter 2, verse 38. It says, arise up and stand. Behold, the number of those that be sealed in the feast of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which are departed from the shadow of the world, and have received glorious garments of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. So these are them who ain't in the world, who ain't dealing with this place at all. All right. And period. It says, take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed. Ezra saw upon the Mount Sion, a great people whom I could not number. And they all praised the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua with songs, and in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature. All right, it says taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marvel at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Receive palms. It says, Then said unto the angel, I unto the angel, What young person is that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And that's why I always be like, man, I'm 10 toes down for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Even in my prayers, I be saying, I hope I forever be 10 toes down. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, verse 48, it says, Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Lord thy power thou hast seen. All right. So yeah, man. And let me grab this right quick, because in this Baruch, right? It's Baruch chapter 4 and verse 25. My children suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from the Most High, for thine enemy have persecuted thee, but surely thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto the Most High. All right. Always. All right. Y'all, that's what we always supposed to be doing. It says, For ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. All right. There you go. All right. So we supposed to go harder, man. It says, For he that have brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation. All right, so anybody that try to come against you, man, and be go against the brothers, because it's coming down, they gonna be one to go against brothers and stuff like that. Hey, man, like it says, 10 days. Like what's that scripture? Matter of fact. It says, fear none of those things. This is Revelation 2 and 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right. And Jeremiah was going through it and shit. During them times with what was that? During the time of Nebuchadnezzar and the kings of Judah, I believe it was Zedekiah, something like that. King Zedekiah and his sons and stuff. When he was around them, and they had put him in the jail and stuff, and they had locked him up, and they kept on coming to him. You got all these fake ass pastors and stuff coming to him, and he letting them know, like, hey, like, man, you gonna go into captivity. He telling you, like, bro, you gonna have, like, you about to go into captivity underneath another person. But they don't want to listen to him, and they trying to cast him into prison. But damn, you ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? You and then they gotta take. Then they was taking Jeremiah with them because they knew he was a prophet. They, you know, if you got a man, you gotta think about it in these days as well, man. If you got a man of the Lord, you know how much people gonna be seeking you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how much hate and how many other people, how much love you may or may not get with that. You know, that's this. That's why the elders say this is a very. I don't think people. I don't think a lot of brothers. That's why the elders always say. I don't think a lot of brothers understand that this is very serious. What we involved in, man. You know what I'm saying? This truth that we're in. Hey, you know what I'm saying? This is. Hey, at the end of the day, this is life. This is the only thing that brings you life. All right. This is the only thing that makes you close to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. But yeah, man, you gotta have your patience. All right, so let me go back to my. You gotta have patience, man. Gotta have patience. All right. So with that, you know, I'm pretty much done. All right. So with that, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory going to Yahweh Ba'ashem.